So hi there, welcome back to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Jam's Boxing Chat and Falcon Contracting. We're here for another live prediction, this time of Chev C4 Clarke, who's fighting out in Carson, California. He's against Efetobar Apochi. Now this man, he's a bit of an unknown quantity to many. He's had 12 wins, 2 losses, but both losses were by split decision, very close losses. And he's never drew, and he's got 12 knockouts in his 12 wins. He's a Nigerian who's based in America. He obviously can bang, but we don't know a lot about him. Chev Clarke, we know a little bit more about. He's from the UK, of course. He's got 9 fights, 9 wins, 7 knockouts. This is in the cruiserweight division, and it's going to be a good fight. Clarke was last out against Ellis Zorro, where he absolutely took him apart in the 8th. And Apochi was last out against Lucas de Fuentes da Silva, where he took him out in the 5th. And his only 2 losses were to Adrian Taylor and Brandon Glanton. So, again, we don't know much about the Nigerian USA-based man, but he could be dangerous, Neutral. You know, with that 12 knockouts in 12 wins, he could be a danger man. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's one of them fights, Jams. When you hear about it, you think, Effie, who? And you think, obviously, Chev Clarke, great performance against Rashidi Ellis. And then I felt to myself, well, who is this guy? So I have to admit, Jams, I've never, ever seen this man. But it turns out he's the captain of the Nigerian boxing team, amateur boxing team when he was an amateur. Very highly regarded in his country. And with little wonder, the more you look into him, the more, well, you think, well, maybe this boy is very well matched to Chev Clarke, because he's not done a lot wrong, as you quite rightly pointed out, Jams. 2 split decision losses. You know what judges are like. They never, you can never get a true reading of a fight when it's like that. Yeah. So I see nothing wrong with his resume. I see Dion Nicholson on his resume. And Brandon Glanton, look, Brandon Glanton is probably, he's moved up to heavyweight now. And he was very highly regarded along with Richard Torres and Jared Anderson. So he was in, he's in that mode. So if he got a split decision against the likes of Brandon Glanton, that tells me something about young Efetobar Apochi. So it's a very intriguing fight now to me, as a neutral bystander. Very intriguing. And I like the the matchmaking in this now. And I see the sense in it. Chev Clarke, progressive cruiserweight, picks up the British vacant title, picks up the WBA Intercontinental title in his last 2 wins. So I don't see a lot wrong with what Chev's doing. Good win against Tommy McCarthy to take that WBO cruiserweight title.
He had a good win over David Jameson as well, which was a good win.
Yeah, so he's very progressive. So for me, it's 2 progressive types meeting for an eliminator, probably for a world title. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to
me too, Mr. Neutral. Chris Welcher said Apochi will be dangerous. Oh, I just lost the comment. 1 second. Apochi will be dangerous early on for me, but after that, I think Clarke will take over and stop him late, maybe the 8th round. I wouldn't disagree with that, but we don't know enough about Apochi, really. Hawkwind's joined us. Big up yourself, sir. He's just saying, geez. And Chris Welcher said, Clarke is ahead of Riley and Chamberlain at the minute for me. I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if C4 was ahead of them. Chamberlain, though, is obviously the favourite, isn't he, of His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, so Chamberlain's above him in that order, in the pecking order, isn't he? Or do you mean Isaac Chamberlain?
Yeah,
you talking about Isaac? Oh, yeah, he's definitely above Isaac Chamberlain. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I got my Chamberlains mixed up.
See, that's a big shout. Isaac Chamberlain, is seasoned. Cheavon's on, he's only got like 7 fights under his belt. Was it 6?
Nine now. He's 9.
Oh, 9. So,
yeah 7 wins. 7 wins, Mr. Neutral.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, beg your pardon. So he's still got a bit of way to go to be for me to be lauded with those types, but he's certainly on the right path.
Definitely. I can see him fighting maybe down the line. Maybe even, like I said, Isaac Chamberlain. That'd be a good like yardstick to see how good he is. Because he's a tough man, you know. I know he's lost a couple,
Oh
but he's
yeah,
a good fighter.
no one's doubting the fact that Chev can go with these guys. It's whether he's at that level right now.
Yeah,
Let's see. I think this fight will give us a more clear indication of where
definitely.
Chev Clarke is.
Definitely. If he's heading for a world title, he's going to have to get through Big Jai in it at some point, and that's where the worry lies for me. Jai will smash him up. For me, though, in this one, I'm pretty much agreeing with what Chris Welch said. I think it'll be interesting early on. I think they'll match each other. The Nigerian will come out, have a good go. But I think Clark's talent will take over towards the end, and I think he'll get a stoppage around the 8th or 9th, and I think he'll probably take him out, you know. Well, probably a brutal knockout, because Clarke likes his brutal knockouts, doesn't he? He's a very
Oh,
strong-handed man.
very, very strong.
Definitely.
As
What's your
usual,
final prediction on this one, Mr. Neutral?
Well, as usual, Jams, I love an underdog. I really do. And I look for an underdog's chances. 12 wins, 12 knockouts for Effie. So I've got to give him a measure of hope as to whether he can do a job. I don't think I can see now that this may be the first time that he goes 12 rounds, Chev, with a real well-matched boxer or punching power stakes. Both can knock each other out. I've no two ways about that. And yes, I'm it's very intriguing, I have to say. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say a decision win for Cheavon Clarke.
Okay, that's a good call, mate. Just before we go, Håkan Johansson, all the way from Sweden, big up yourself, sir. He has said
Big
Chev
up,
Clarke
Håkan.
stops him in the round 8. So he's pretty much agreeing with what I said. So let's find out come Saturday, 31st
I'll
of
go
August,
for
which
the
is
long odds.
the coming Saturday. You got to try in this, the neutral. You got to try it, you mate. You got to back the underdog. It's always worth doing. Well, thank you so much for joining me, mate. And everyone in the chat, if you've not already subscribed, make sure you do. And check out Mr. Neutral on iBoxing Hub. He does Hard Talk every Friday. You don't want to miss it. He has some great interviews. Adam Smith, Billy Nelson. He's got the Normans coming on Friday, senior and junior. Check it out, mate. It'll be fantastic. I'll put the link out anyway so everyone can see it. God bless to one and all. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.